Metal Jesus Rocks here. Now, the Apple iPad has been in the news and, on TV, and your friends have one, and maybe you're thinking about getting one. But you may be like me and you're thinking, the Commodore 64. Which one do you get? I mean, it's a tough choice, especially when you consider that the Commodore 64 is the best-selling computer of all time. Almost 20 million of these were sold. So, if you're like me and trying to decide, I'm here to help. Let's take a look. Alright, now if you're going to compare the Commodore 64 to the Apple iPad, you got to kind of start with its most striking feature, which is its thinness. But, to be fair, this is no contest. Look at this. The Apple iPad is so thin. Maybe I need a better test. Actually, but the only thing I can really compare the iPad to that comes with the Commodore, frankly, is its box. So let's just see. Which one is thinner, the iPad 2 or the Commodore 64 box? Ho, I think we have a winner here. I think it is the Commodore 64 box. Nice. Now the iPad comes with a really nice, beautiful screen designed for reading books. You can read magazines, comic books, surf the web, play games. It's got everything. All it's about 10 inches diameter. But the Commodore 64, well, that can plug into an old school 32-inch television. That's pretty nice too. I think I'll take that. Commodore 2-0. Now, a big part of using a computer is using the keyboard to type in the programs that you find in the back of magazines. Now, that can be a little bit of a challenge on the iPad. It's got this virtual keyboard. It works pretty well. But if you're going to be typing in programs, you're going to need a real keyboard, and the Commodore has one built in. Pretty nice. Now, any proper gamer knows that if you want to play real games, you need a joystick, and the Commodore comes with 2 ports. Plug in your favorite joystick and you are ready to rock and roll. Now, speaking of games, there were tons of classics for the Commodore 64. Despite the fact that it actually really isn't that powerful of a computer. It's actually only 1 megahertz. Now, to give you an idea, the iPad 2 is a dual-core 1 gigahertz computer. Now, that's quite impressive and, shows what 30 years of development will do. But I would argue, though, that there are many hundreds of classics of Commodore 64 games that you can still enjoy today. But you cannot deny that the iPad 2 just has beautiful graphics. They're frankly amazing for a portable unit. And here is just one example. There are tons of them. And, I guess this one goes to the iPad. Now, perhaps one way that you could compare the two is by price per pound. Think about this. The Commodore 64 weighs a little over 4 pounds and costs about $20 used. The iPad, well, that's a pound and cost about $500. Do the math. Although, to be fair, I just love the iPad 2. I actually use it every day. I watch videos on it, I read, I surf the web, I check my email. I just use it for all sorts of things, play games, all that sort of stuff. And, for $500, it's kind of an amazing little computer. As a matter of fact, the Commodore 64, when it shipped for $600 and did not include a floppy drive. All right, and finally, of course, you can get a Commodore 64 app in the Apple App Store for the iPad and play games on it. It uses BASIC, has a little virtual keyboard. It's actually pretty cool. So there you go. All right, so which one do you get? Do you get the Commodore 64 or the Apple iPad? Well, you know what? Be like me and get both. You can get these on eBay now for 20 bucks, entire collections. You can get like 30 of these for 1 Apple iPad. That's pretty rocking. So get both of them. You'll have the best of both worlds. I want to thank you for watching my channel. Thanks for subscribing. Take care.
MetalJesusRocks.